The chaos between Jake Paul, what can I say? I mean, he was shouting a lot from the outside of the ring, and he didn't want to get in. I offered him out 100 times, as you heard on the mic, come in the ring, come in the ring. He told me to come to ringside, straight through the ropes. I don't care about that man. I looked into his eyes twice now. Once in Ohio, when I was on the bill, in the corridor, and another time here in Dubai on ringside. He cannot beat me in a fight, and he knows it in his eyes, because the eyes never lie.
What was he saying to you?
He was saying just shit, pure shit. Oh, what was that? What was it? He couldn't hardly speak. That man is a shithouse, I'm telling you. I will fight him right now, no problem.
Respect other people's countries with the language.
At the end of the day, what can he say? He is what he is. He didn't want to get in the ring and he didn't want any part of me. He can criticise that fight all he wants. Sorry, I'm just having a milkshake for 5 guys, that's why I'm doing so much. He can criticise that as much as he wants, but at the end of the day, who else is doing it? That guy just won a version of the world title 2 weeks ago. 15-1 with 12 knockouts, WBA titles, WBC titles. They rang me up, I had 4 hours notice. Do you want to fight this man? It's the only option, or else you're not fighting. I said, I'm not fighting. That's non-optional. So get me in the ring. And look, I'm here and I'm done.
John, what did you see in Jake Paul tonight?
What I seen in Jake Paul, not a lot really. He showed tonight he's not a true fighting man. Because if that was one of my boys, they behave like him, I'd question the bottle. But listen, I'm not going to knock Jake Paul too much because he's a YouTuber, he's a clever young man, but he's not a fighting man. We're bred to fight. I'm an old age pension, I get my pension on Monday, but I'll still throw down with anybody in the world with bare knuckles or gloves, whatever. Not the best in the world, but I'll tell you what, I've got a world-class art and I passed it on to these boys. These men will fight anybody. Never mind all the crap in the world, these are trained to do the job. And like I say, he's been training for a southpaw for 8 weeks, and now we fight an orthodox man with world-class ability. And if he wasn't up to scratch, that fellow would have made my lad look stupid. But to be honest with you, top the points up. On this, I know it was exhibition, but I think Tommy was a clear ahead. But listen, the fella, he saved the day, he saved the evening. Big respect to Roland. What's his other name?
Lambert.
Roland Lambert, credit to that guy. He's done and had the guts to do what 95% of the boxers would never do. So big credit to that fella. And he's a fine athlete and a fine fighter. Anybody with a pair of eyes can see that man's a world-class man.
John, can you explain what happened ringside between you and Jake Paul?
Well, he's been having a lot to say, hasn't he? I always say, men meet before mountains. And last thing, I ain't bothered. I've had hundreds of fights outside of public houses, car parks, in the ring, whatever. I had a few brief professional jobs, never trained a day in my life. But what I can do, I'll throw down. And I've got guts, and I've got heart. And I will give anybody a problem. And outside, I'm probably as strong as 3 men. You know what I'm saying? And I train every day. I don't look like I do, because I'm a fat man genetically. But I run every day. I lift the weights. We spar all the time, don't we? Not just with him. We're Tyson. So I know I'm capable of tearing limbs off people like that.
Tommy, why do you think he didn't get in the ring tonight, Jake Paul?
Because he knew, he could see it look into my eyes. Like, I was ready to go. I took the medal off, and if he'd have got in that ring, I would have gone to him, no problem. Because I'm not here for the glitz and cameras and all that sort of stuff. What I say is what I mean. And I don't like that man. I don't like him. And he had his opportunity to do something about it there, but he wouldn't. He was there negotiating with his manager to get in the ring. Sure, not get in the ring. You didn't see me, did you? He said, come out here. I was straight through the ropes. My security, Brendan there, grabbed hold of my arm as tight as possible, nearly ripped it off to get me back in the ring. That's the difference here. So, he is what he is, and everybody's seen that tonight. A complete bitch. What do you even get in the ring?
Can I say one thing here, though? I've locked him down, backed him in a corner, and checkmated him. He's agreed to a February bout. He shook my hand, he gave me his word of honour, his manager, it's happening in February. I said, listen, if you renege or back out, you'll never live it down in your life. And you can't break a man's handshake. Contracts mean nothing to me, but a handshake does. And my word, you can build a tower block on it. He's given his word, his manager, we fight in February. And where better place than the great Dubai, the world I promised, the new world. Great.
There's the main man himself.
Here he is. My brother. Come on.
Safe for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Tommy,
Hey.
Eamon here with Zach. Can I just ask you, that fight's been so close now, that ringside, back and forth between you both, what actually happens when you step through the ropes at Jake Paul?
What actually happens is a no contest. I will jab that man's head clean off. Jake Paul cannot beat me. It's impossible for him to beat me.
Ask this man whether Jake Paul can beat him.
saying, Lachlan?
Fury will give him trouble. He has a solid jab. I don't think Jake Paul can take that jab. He's going to be in trouble.
Tommy, do you want to just address the Paul Bamba situation today?
Yeah, basically, you can't really say too much because I don't know what was in his contract. We both had 2 contracts. My contract said a certain weight, I made that weight. His contract said a certain weight, he made that weight. And apparently, the 2 weights were wrong. But I can only do my job as a professional man, get my contract for a fight, and make that weight. I can't do anything else but that. So I did my job on weighing day. But he obviously wasn't happy with the weight and stuff like that because it said something different in his contract, so he decided to pull out the fight. And that's all I know. Paul Bamba does whatever he does. I'm not interested. Paul Bamba's done, finished. He was an opponent for me. He didn't want the fight. He was complaining all week. So, boom. A real man stepped up to the opportunity in him. He saved the show. And he saved the day. Without this man here, I wouldn't be boxing tonight.
2 hours notice.
Yeah.
And 95% of boxers in the world will not do that. So this man has all the credit in the world.
Yeah.
And let's give him some exposure and put him on some big shows. He showed he can fight. He's calm and collected. He's there. He can do his business. Let's put him on some big shows. Let's give the boy a chance. Good fighter.
Tommy, although obviously your dad said he shook hands on a deal for February next year, Jake didn't want to seemingly, he chose not to get in the ring with you. Are you convinced that this fight happens at all?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's Jake Paul. Nothing's concrete until the man's in the ring. But he won't even step inside the ring with me. And we're not even fighting. He won't even step inside the ring with me. So that says it all to me. And again, I'm going to go back to this point. The eyes never lie. And I looked him dead in the eyes multiple times tonight. And they told me one thing: I can't beat you in a fight. And that's all I need to know. So when he would like to step in the ring with me, it's a foregone conclusion because I will bowl him straight over. And I promise you that. And everybody can say what they want to say, but when we're in that ring, you will see what I've been saying for the past 2.5 years. It's true, and it's going to be easy work.
How frustrating have these last 2.5 years? Everyone talks about Jake Paul. I know you want to pursue a professional career, and we talk about YouTube boxing. How frustrating is it having him sort of there, poke all the time? You just want to get your hands on him, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't pay attention to anything he says. I can't even tell you what he was saying at Ringside while I was fighting because I wasn't listening to him. It was like Jake Paul wasn't there tonight. My attention was on my fight. Yeah. So he can say whatever he wants. And he talked a lot from Ringside, and that microphone he kept on holding up for some reason. But he wouldn't get in the ring, and he didn't have anything to say. And he said to me, "Come out to Ringside. Look what I did there in a flash." That's the difference. I want to hurt that man. I want to do some serious harm because I don't like him. There is serious bad blood between me and him. At the start, it was just, oh yeah, he's called my name. It's a big fight. Let's get it on. But now I genuinely don't like that fella. I'm going to get in the ring with him. You're going to see that. I'm going to bust him up. I'm going to hurt him. So whenever he's got the balls to get in the ring, it'll happen. You'll see it. And it's going to be easy work.
A few questions right here. Shadi Al Shadi, ITV Live. So